Hey everyone, Fam Rips Pokemon, it's Jordan. Very excited for today's video. Gonna do something a little different. As you can see here, I was going through putting together our next batch of cards that we were gonna be shipping off to PSA to be graded. When I got to thinking, why not do a little how-to video, or at least how we do our PSA selection and grading process. So as you can see, behind us we have a brand new 151 UPC. So we're gonna open all 16 of those packs, hope that we pull some fire, gradable fire at that. And I'll show y'all the process of selecting whether or not we believe the ROI is there to get that card graded, spend the money to do so, the process, how to submit the order, and finally just kind of the shipping, how we package it and ship it off. Nothing too crazy. It's very simple, but why not put something there for y'all? And with that said, let's go ahead and dive into this UPC and see if we can pull some gradable fire. All right, y'all, we are back, got everything separated. I'm going to set these to the side because we are going to go ahead and take a peek at those, see if they're grade worthy and whether it's worth it. But really want to kind of, I'm going to say, breeze through these 16 packs here, but get through them kind of quickly, see if we can pull something grade worthy, a handful of things grade worthy. Real point of this video is to show y'all really how easy it is. The process, they've really simplified how easy it is to submit these cards to PSA. What the real deciding factor is to get, I don't want to say decent pricing, you do have to send quite a bit. I think typically it's 20 or 25 cards to get the lowest price unless there's a promo going on. But let's see if we can get something going here on this second pack. Rigid Band, Meowth, and an Alakazam. What I'm thinking here is definitely the big three, definitely Mew, EXs, possibly Alakazam, some of your, I want to call them mid-grade OG 150 hits, but those are kind of the questionable ones unless something really jumps off the page. But big three definitely would, just a base EX, we would get graded. Mew definitely, and surprisingly Zapdos. Not really surprisingly, but Zapdos does well. But if we don't pull something here quick, we are going to, we're not going to have anything to really select from. If you are new to the channel, we have had our first couple of PSA returns, and it has kind of quickly become our favorite new obsession when it comes to Pokemon card collecting. My gosh, they are really tossing the Meow status here. And again, a lot of those returns, if you haven't seen them, they're up on our channel. So welcome you to take a peek. They're a fun watch. First return was a lot of our big 151s that you see behind us. And we did get 45 card reveals. That was all the way from some base set 2 from my childhood all the way up to like the Gengar VMAX from Fusion. And okay, we need to get on something a little bit better. This, not gradable. But that video, Evolutions from Evolving Skies, it's a good watch. And if you want to take it a step further, a lot of those cards are up for sale. All of the slabs and single cards are up on our website, famripspokemon.com. But anyway, Diglett, we need to get something going a little better now, Alakazam EX and a Kangaskhan. But who knows? We have had absolutely, if you guys were caught our live stream not too long ago, we had 0 hits from one side of a UPC and then ripped 2 of the big 3 SIRs. Won't give a complete spoiler alert. That video, my gosh, is also up on the website, but not on the website, up on our channel. But without, let's see, Rapidash, Haunter, Charmeleon, Weezing. Wow, we may have to go into the original stack that we're sending in to find something. Or who knows, maybe we have a God Pack hiding. Slowpoke, Growlithe, Geodude, Jigglypuff, Erica's Invitation, Magneton, Nidoqueen, Pinsir. Here we go. Oh boy. This is, I want to say SIR. So we're going to have something to look at here. Why wouldn't it not be another Blastoise? Now we're talking. Double banger? No, but we will take it. and it looks good. I'm going to go ahead and put it into a sleeve for PSA. I know it's kind of pretty good timing there before we get into the right side of this UPC. After we go ahead and pull the rest of this, we are going to go and I'm going to pull up price charting and again show y'all how we determine whether it's worth it to ship the PSA. Blastoise SIR, it's always worth it just to have it encapsulated for safekeeping. So what we'd really like to see here from the right side, again, not going to complain, just ripped a Blastoise SIR, but what we would like to see is maybe one of the mid-grade illustration rares like that. Boom. Ask and you shall receive. Let's go. No double banger there, but that is a perfect example of what we want to look at to see if it's worth grading. I believe it's going to, and it looks good, at least on the front. Don't want to take a peek. We're not going to take a deep dive into what the cards look like. We'll save that for the next part. And then finally, we are going to submit the order in PSA. So we'll have that on screen. I'll do a couple of those to show you how simple it is. And then finally, just how we wrap our packages up. It's not going to be anything crazy, but we do want y'all to see. And really, reflected a little weird. Really to see how easy it is. If you just don't want to go through that whole process, hit up our Discord. We do offer it as a store, as a Discord, as a member's benefit. So where you can just basically send us your card. We ship it off to get graded. When it comes back in, you go to our store and you just simply let us, when it's back, you pay for it and we ship it out to you. So that really benefits somebody if you have like less than 15, 20, 30 cards you want to send and don't want to spend $400 or $500 at a time shipping to PSA. So we'll go over that a little bit later too as I wrestle with this pack. But Magikarp, Oddish, Mankey, Growlithe, Fearow, Onix, Dragonair, Muck, Psyduck, and all right, we're doubling down with the Alakazams. Can't complain at all about this UPC. Anytime you pull one of the big three from a UPC, especially when you know what they sell for in PSA 10s off the top of your head. I will kind of go ahead and go out on, I'm going to go out there and say it. I said it in the Discord. I don't want to say I got roasted, but it was considered kind of a hot take. As of this video, I don't think there's any pack worth buying outside of just because you like the set in Scarlet and Violet era besides 151. We've sold singles, we've sold graded, we've seen the prices on some sealed products stay very steady. You haven't seen like a massive drop off like Paldean Fates, for example. Walmart last week, 50 to 55 bucks. I just got one for 39 bucks. Or 39 or 41.99. So the cards are holding value in 151, and so if you're a fan of 151 and you're not subscribed to the channel, there's going to be a lot more. Not saying Temporal Forces can't get us very excited. There is supposed to be a Haunter and a not a Haunter, a Ghastly and a Gengar in it. Not sure if Haunter's making an appearance, but I don't know. Kirsten and I were talking about it the other day. We are really ready for like that Evolving Skies, hard pull rates, just really good hit set. But that's my hot take. 151 or bust with Scarlet and Violet era. But last pack Magic, not expecting much from here. Full art would just be if we're going to beg for something, but a full art would definitely be what we would be. Round out the table here. Haunter, Cycling Road, Shelder, Gyarados, and that is it. So what we'll do is we're going to take one of the Alakazams, the Psyduck, and the Blastoise. Go ahead and get price charter up, see what the values are, and let y'all know whether we're going to get them graded or not. Then take those cards, submit them to PSA, and show you how we package them up. Okay, y'all, so what I've done here, I have written down the 5 cards because I'm old school like that we're going to go ahead and look up here. PSA 8, 9, and 10. This is kind of what I use to judge whether or not I think it's worth spending the money to get this submitted to PSA, or whether it's worth it to get it graded. So with that said, Let's pop in our Alakazam EX65, cross our fingers, it pulls up correctly. So yeah, here you can see a PSA 8, really not worth it. PSA 9 though, we do jump to about 16 bucks, and what we would really be going for here is pretty much almost 60 bucks for the PSA. Um, I would and am going to go ahead and get this graded just because Alakazam. Okay, with Alakazam done, let's jump into the Mew. This is the promo card that comes with the UPC, you know, one of the three. It's also one of the main reasons that we go ahead and of 151 not just being our favorite set, it is the main reason that we continue to open UPCs, is you are pretty much getting some value back just in the PSA cards alone. So as you can see there, we have grade 8, 10, grade 9, 15, grade 10, 51. The grade 8 rule really doesn't apply as much here. Main reason being is all the pack fresh stuff we've opened has gotten a 9 or 10. I think we have a one card get an 8. So really like judging the PSA 8s when we're looking at some of our older stuff that we send in, Wizards of the Coast, things like that, where the base raw grade is so much lower because there's so many played with cards out there, you know, what we call playground ones, playground Charizards or playground Pokemon cards there. But let's go jump into the Mewtwo here. As you can see, so it's PSA 9, you're basically getting your money back, but PSA 10, it's worth rolling the dice. And we do have a handful of them with PSA right now, so those will be coming back in our next order. So like as you can see here, grade 8 is still 14 bucks. So in a really weird scenario where it's that off center or that bad, um, pretty much the same at an 8 or a 9, and then it jumps up to pretty much 50 again in a PSA 10. So you technically, with just these two cards, could get back what it costs to open a UPC. I am glad that we pulled a Psyduck, so let's go ahead and get Psyduck in here, just because it is not one of your big. I mean, it's still any IR, and this set is very good. But it's not like your Charmander, not your Squirtle, not your Bulbasaur, not your Pikachu. So let's see if we're in here. Psyduck. So PSA, like I said, you can see here in an 8 to an ungraded, there's not a big difference. Now, if this was a card that was 15, 20, 30 years old, you're going to see this ungraded number stay very low, and you're going to start seeing the 7 and 8s go up because there's more beat up cards out there. But Psyduck here, what do we have? In a PSA 8, about 11 bucks, 9, 17, and PSA 10, 50. So this is obviously going to be a no-brainer that we want to go ahead and get it graded. And you'll see here as well, though, probably the raw and the PSA 9 are pretty much almost in line with each other. So 837, actually a little bit less than what a ungraded would cost. PSA 9 does bump it to about 50, and still holding steady at about $1.60 to $1.65. So with that said, I'm going to kick this over now to PSA's website, just go completely full screen, and show you really how simple it is to submit one or two cards. What I'll probably do is pick one from 151 set, and then I'll pick like a Wizards of the Coast just to show you how to look up an older set that may be a little bit more difficult. Okay, so as you all can see, we are on the PSA website. I'm going to go through this pretty quick. I'm assuming most of us are kind of tech savvy. But we are going to be starting a new submission. Now we have a membership, so we pay the $100 each year because of the amount that we grade. But as you can see here, we've got a couple of orders with them currently. This one here is a Zardy boy. We're praying for that PSA 10, couple of Lugias, and then here's that order that's coming back next. This is all 151 stuff from the base EXs all the way up to the SIR. So that's going to be a big inventory for the store. So a little more self-plug there, but we will click the new submission button. We obviously are doing trading cards, so we'll select that option. Grading, we're not doing anything crazy unless your card is signed by FamRips Pokemon. You know, go ahead and click select and continue. This is where it does get a little tricky. Pokemon, there's kind of falls into two different categories, and it really comes down to the declared value and the almost everything we've sent in has been this $14.99. And the reason why declared value, and I'll scroll down to the bottom so we can read it here. What is max declared value? As described by PSA, it is the maximum amount per item you may claim as compensation in the event of loss or damage. Actual compensation depends on the nature and extent of loss or damage and market value in accordance with the PSA terms and conditions, yada, yada, yada. What I've come to find, and if this is incorrect or at least wrong, correct me down in the comments. What I've been doing is and determining max declared value is how much you would expect back from PSA in the event that they messed your card up, damaged it while grading. It does also go twofold. I'll explain that in a second. But so we have our Blastoise down there. It's very simple. If you were to do it with the other cards, I'd follow the same procedure. But just to kind of change it up here, we pulled this in a live stream from a base set 2 pack. Base set 2 Squirtle. So let's go ahead and see here. Obviously, not sure of the year, 1999, 2000-ish, but we will go type in the set, base set 2 Squirtle, and let's go ahead and go with the number. Give it as much information as we know. There you go. Base set 293 Squirtle. I would not pop this one in there as they would think it's unlimited, and you would probably very quickly see that coming back as a return. But we have the one, base set 2, and quantity 1, declared value. I believe it's around $75 and a 10. We will save, and there you go. Okay, so as y'all can see here, we have our cards listed. Now again, to get that price of $14.99, you do have to have a bulk quantity, which is why it's not letting us check out. We probably have an error code, minimum 20 items. This is why you want to jump in our Discord, and if you have any cards, message us any questions. We do it for $20 a card, so you don't have to pay $100 for a membership. But with that said, it's very simple. I'm going to get the rest of these packaged up into the sleeves like this, and I will show you how we put it together and ship it to PSA, and it's very, very simple, y'all. Before I show you how I package everything up here, I did want to give 2 little tips that I've found. One, we do send them, this is what they ask for, these little semi-rigid holders. It's become my favorite regardless anyway, but you don't get them back. So I always use ones that we've used in the past or are kind of on their way out. So that's a little tip. The other thing, you will, on that next screen, once you click submit, gives you a list of all the cards, and you put that list in with your cards. So they do say that if they're not in the order on that list, they can charge you a reorganization fee or something. I've never not done it, but I've also never heard of them charging somebody. So I'm not going to be the first. I wouldn't recommend y'all either. But with that said, it's really a simple process here. So let me get my supplies, and I'll show you how we package this thing up. All right, and I am not going to take up too much time here, y'all. This isn't exactly the most entertaining thing to watch, but I use some of my best friends, some painter's tape here. Some people will use either little pieces of cardboard cut out. I have so many of these hard sleeves laying around. That's what I use. And then what I do is just kind of, to ensure nothing slips around, and come in, just get a little piece of tape here, little tape here, and I like one more down on the bottom. So now you're pretty good, pretty solid. And then get as fancy as you want. I use some, I mean, if you get as much Amazon stuff as Courtney gets to the house, we've got so much packaging laying around. Wrap her up, boom. I prefer flat rate envelopes because when I send something out, I don't like pulling a Poke Factory and getting stuff returned to me because I made a mistake. Seal it up, put it in the mail. 2 days later, it shows up something like this. After a couple of days, PSA will acknowledge it, as you can see in the top one, and then down in the bottom one, that's one that's now moved. It goes through different stages, which y'all can see over here through the process. So it does keep you up to date. There is an app, and within as little as 2 to 3 or 1 to 2 months really has been the turnaround time. You yourself can have some absolutely sick looking graded PSA cards. I do hope y'all like that. I'm happy we ripped another Blastoise to send off to PSA. Again, let us know in the comments if you like videos like this. If not, we're just gonna get right back to ripping. But see you on the next one. Bye.